welcome to The Bricks. If you haven't already, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Now let's get into it. So this was my first time attending a Lego Brick convention. There was other ones that happened obviously over the years, but I was not able to get to those. But this time, my friend actually found it. Why didn't I look for it? I don't know why I didn't look for it. My mind was in a lot of areas of life, so trying to trying to look something up like that didn't cross my mind. But my friend had came across it, and she sent the link to me. And she sent the link to me. I bought a ticket. About the afternoon, the early afternoon slot was 11:30 to 3, something like that. I bought that time slot, and then as they got closer, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get this morning one. I was gonna get the 3:30 to, I think it was like 6 o'clock or something like that, but that one was sold out. And then it was also happening on Sunday, and I was like, I don't really know if I want to go on a Sunday, and then I go all the way back over there on a whole nother day. So I just bought the 8:30 one, um, which wasn't sold out. And what seemed to be different was that when you bought the ticket, when you bought a ticket, they had two like merch item things on there, and the one I had bought was I had bought the one that was on there. It seems they added another one. So when I bought the first one, it said like a merch item add on. I don't remember how much it was, but now that I actually got the 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 thing when I went to the second one, which is what I bought it for, I was like, I really don't know. I really don't want to know how much it was, because it was literally the merch item is literally this. I don't know if the camera because of the light, but there we go. It literally just says this: Orange County, Brick Convention, Orange County, 2024. Luckily, it's not a sticker like you can just like peel off. It's printed on here. It's printed on two. How many is this? I don't even know how many this is. I should know this already. Three, 6, 8. 8 by what is this? 1 or something like that. Piece, but it's just printed on here. I don't know. I feel like this the merch add-on could have been better. Like, where am I gonna put this? I mean, like if I had like a something that I submitted there, something like that, sure, whatever. I don't know where I might use this if I lose like this kind of piece, or I need an extra piece, something like that. I feel like a shirt or something should have been better, but whatever. I would have taken a shirt. I'd have been happy with a shirt. If they would have put out a sweater, I'd have been like really crazy. Like I said, I don't remember how much I paid for it. I feel like I probably did overpay for it. When I got there, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what to expect, period. This is my first one. And I didn't go in with a plan necessarily, because I don't know. I mean, I can read, I mean, they showed online what's going to be there and what, like, around all that. And they kind of hyped it up a bit, online, which is, I don't blame them for that. But, like, I just don't know what to expect there. So, like, for me to go in with a plan, I feel like would have kind of like behooved me a little bit. Like, it could have, I don't know. Like, I try and figure out how to say it, but, like, to go in with a plan, not knowing what to expect, didn't seem to make so much sense to me. So now, like, when if I go back again next year, being that it is in Orange County, now I kind of know, like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do, because this is what happened the last time. This is what was here last time, so pretty sure it's gonna be like this again, something like that. So anyway, um, when you walk in, there is the it says, who are those guys? I forgot their names already. Bricker Build. Hold on. They are called Bricker Builds. They seem to have the biggest exhibit spot, I guess you can call it, is right when you walk in. That's what you see first. Mainly is their spot, and then off to from walking in this way, walking straight ahead, and then off to the right is a seller, was like a seller spot, somebody who was selling sets, and then off to the left was custom minifigures, and it seemed like some of them lit up. I didn't really care for that, which is why I didn't really get any video of it. It seemed kind of cool. Like I said, they were custom. It seemed like, for one, I kind of felt a bit overwhelmed. To be honest with you, I kind of felt a little bit overwhelmed walking in there because I had never been. I was by myself for one thing, but like I don't know. I guess it was just because it was so much kind of thrown at me at once in a way. With that, with the Brick of Bills part being right here, the seller thing being right here, and then just seeing. So I was just like I said, I didn't go in with a plan. So it kind of went up against me, not exactly to have like an idea of what I should do. But anyway, um, and then behind the Brick of Bills exhibit for AC Pen. Now AC Pen, I have their little info right here. Let me bring it up real quick. Um, AC Pen is a world famous Lego master artist. I'm reading it here. Is a world famous Lego master artist. Brick Convention actually put a profile on their Instagram page, and it says the first and only Filipino and Kapampangan, Kapampangan. I'm gonna butcher that, so I'm not gonna try it again. Um, to have exhibited at the Lego House in Billund, Denmark. Spotlighted in books such as Steampunk Lego and the best-selling Lego Star Wars: The Visual Dictionary, featured in several Lego magazines, including Brick Journal, Blocks, and Brick It. He's won several international competitions and has displayed incredible Lego masterpieces around the world, from all over the United States to international in Denmark, Bahrain, and the Philippines. His exhibit was behind Brick of Builds, and that was the exhibit that I kind of spent a little more time around because mainly because they had a lot of floral pieces, and I really liked how they came together, like how he was able to put those together. He had his wife there too. I'm not exactly sure if him and his wife built the stuff, but I would assume that she probably helped him. Um, I didn't get to talk to them very much. This despite me having two time slots because they were actually kind of busy talking to other people and all that. But I mean, we can assume if he did it, he did it. Both of them did, they both did it. Whatever. um, but I spent a decent amount of time in that exhibit because of all the floral pieces that they had, and I really liked them. They were very, 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 very pretty and very, very, very well put together, as they should. And it was just amazing. It was just amazing to me how they were able to put these designs together in like the form of like in a picture frame type of way. They had the pieces that they had built. Then behind them, on easels was like the profiles they had from when they were in the magazines and in the books, and the ones that got featured in the Lego House, which is like the end all. I don't say end all be all, but like the ultimate thing for Lego builders is to be able to get invited to the Lego House for one thing, but then also to be able to have one of their custom MOCs be exhibited and on display in the Lego House. And AC Pen is one of the lucky ones that to achieve that. When I recorded, I was more I was more interested in the actual build itself. I didn't necessarily look at the names of the builds. I'm sorry, I should have looked at the names of the flower pieces, but that's my bad. But as you can see, they look very pretty, very, very pretty. There's one there that had birds like on a tree, and it's like how you have the birds like just like kind of like leaning in a certain way off of a vertical piece. So it's like it was slanted a little bit, but like they were like leaning off, so it almost gave like a 3D effect to it. They also had this really decently sized build. It was, I thought it was the most gorgeous one out of all of them. The it, the vase, I'm calling it a vase because they have the flowers coming out of it. It doesn't look like a pot at all. It doesn't look like a pot or a planter or anything like that. It doesn't look like that at all. It looks like a oversized rectangular vase. And I was just that was my favorite one out of from them because of just how pretty it was. Like it looks so pretty. Like you can look like you can put this like anywhere in somebody's house, and it would just work. Also, for the Star Wars fans, they did not have they did not have a huge Star Wars section. As big as Star Wars is in the Lego world, Lego community, they did not have like a dedicated like Star Wars exhibit or anything in there Star Wars or anything. They did not have that. And I don't know if it's because of the size of the venue itself. This was at the OC Fairgrounds, and if you haven't been there, it's where they have the OC Fair, mainly in the parking lot spaces and all that. And but they have a couple buildings around there where they have events and have other shows. Um, but they had it in this one, and I don't like I said I don't know if it's because of the size of it or there wasn't that many submissions. I don't know, but as far as like for people who are into Star Wars like that, there wasn't many there wasn't many things around the world of Star Wars. But AC Pen came in clutch in a way with their Star Wars builds. One of them was this hangar called the Theed hangar. This hangar was very it was big. It was big in my opinion. Um, but it was really cool though. It was really cool because like it looked like an actual hangar for the spaceships that would be in Star Wars. Um, how he had them like some that are like in the air as if they're flying into the hangar, and then some that are like on the floors if they're being repaired or getting geared up to leave out. And there's you know there's people walking around um, with like their weapons out. I'm guessing it's a popular scene from the Star Wars movies too. I haven't seen many of the Star Wars movies. Forgive me. I'm not a huge Star Wars fan like that. Do I know something? Do I know a few characters? Sure. Do I know what some of the ships look like? Yes. Um, I have one Star Wars set, and I have plans to get other ones. I just haven't. But anyway, if you know about the Theed Hangar from any of the Star Wars movies, then this will look very familiar to you. Um, he had he they had this there as well as it's not it either. They also had Lars. It says Lars's Homestead. If you're a fan, you'll know what it is. I have no idea what it is, but it looks pretty cool. It looks like something Lego can actually like make into a set of their own and to put into production. Just because they put out these other special little scene type sets and other little dioramas. So I wouldn't be surprised if they did something like that. It would be kind of cool if they did something like that. There was another one called the Floating Frogs. It seems to have I don't know. Like I said, if you're a fan of Star Wars, you know the scene. You're gonna know what all these look like and what movie they're from. But they had that one there. And they also had um, what is this one? I didn't get the name. Oh wait, I think it says. Uh, they also had this one here. It's called the Floating Droid, and it looks pretty cool. Like it looks like a very the scaled down version of how he did this was pretty cool in my opinion. So they also had this. It seemed like a ceremony of some sort. What movie it's from? I have no clue. But it did have the anniversary 20 year anniversary special Star Wars minifigures lined up on the bottom of like this ceremony that he had put together. But it actually looked pretty cool to me that they had put this together. It's pretty interesting. You have everybody, it seems like troops and everybody kind of lined up and looking at the altar. You see all the 20-year anniversary figures and all. And those guys look up at the altar. R2D2. You got Dio right there. Looks what's his face? I forgot his name. Freaking Chewbacca. I forgot his name for a second. Chewbacca right there as well. That was pretty cool. That was interesting. And then he also had the Mos Espa, which was very, very, very detailed. Um, I don't know. Once again, I don't know where this scene is from, what movie it's from, but it looks like a really big like market, like a village type of thing. Um, where people are buying and trading stuff. It looks like there's like a monster of some sort in the center of it all, and there's even stuff like inside the buildings too, which you're able to see, which I thought was a great addition. Even though you can't really see it, it's just the fact that he took the time out to put that in the buildings, and knowing that nobody probably would see it is really admiring. But like I said, it looks like everybody's like buying and trading stuff, and there's a monster in the big one, and there's other buildings around with stuff going on. It looks like one big scene that came to life from one of the Star Wars movies, and it turned out really really great. I really like this one out of over the hangar. The hangar was cool, but the way like they put this city together, because I remember Lego had put out something similar, but it was smaller, and I think like they could have how Lego did with Harry Potter and put out the castle. They put out how they put out the big Hogwarts castle, and then they put out the smaller version of Hogwarts castle. I feel like Lego could have done something like this with Star Wars. Like take one big part from there, one big scene, whether it's a village, whether it's apart from one of the ships or another planet or something like that. They could have done. I feel like they could have done the same thing and put it all together, but it's all good. I mean, but AC Pen did his thing with this one. Really, 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 really great job with this one. And that was pretty much all what AC Pen had. AC Pen had the biggest like area. If I had to guess, him and his wife and the Bricker Bills guys, they seem to have the bigger sections of the floor. Besides they had two brick pits, what they call it, mainly for obviously the little kids, and they had like I'm gonna call them, they're like thinking like sandboxes but with Legos in them, kind of small, and like some kids were like climbing up in there. They're all up in there on top of the Lego pieces, and which probably hurt. Well, they were in there and they were grabbing stuff and building stuff off the side with their parents and their other siblings and all that. I thought that was cool. Um, so that's how like it went like stacked backwards. So you have Bricker Builds, then AC Pen, and then going back was the two brick pits, and off to the side you had one cellar. You had one cellar spot. Then you had another cellar that was right there, and but his it seemed to be him and his sister, but he seemed to be the one doing the most talking. So I'm guessing it's all his, but he had help from his sister. I'm gonna guess it's his sister, another person. Um, He had custom pieces there, and some of those were actually pretty interesting. He had different things that Lego hasn't put out like ever. It seemed like I don't remember ever seeing a Lego cereal box, and he had cereal boxes. He had like cereal boxes that like they're like flat, and then he also had cereal boxes that were like stand up. Little cereal boxes. He had arcade flooring because he had arcade style custom pieces there, and I bought two of them actually. Bought this one, as you can see, it's like Mortal Kombat, but he called it Mortal Kombrick, obviously for copyright reasons. But it's actually pretty cool, and you put it together, it looks like the Mortal Kombat arcade machine. And then he also put together a air hockey. So I thought that was pretty cool. I think Lego, if they made an actual air hockey table, they made that foosball table, that table football thing, and nobody liked it, including me. And I like the really interesting and intricate um, stuff, but I didn't want it. And it was on like super discount. I think it started up high, and it went down like I think like $80. I think it went like on an $80 like sale at one point. Nobody wanted it, but I think if Lego like put together a working hockey table, bro, they put together a working hockey table, like I think that's gonna blow up like crazy. Like who doesn't like air hockey? Who doesn't like air hockey? Some weirdo, clearly. I think it's possible to make a working air hockey table and like have like a brick built. Everything's brick built too. So technically pieces up in there, but just imagine like a working air hockey table, bro. That would be crazy. But anyway, yeah, what's his name by the way? He had it. He just had B3 on his stuff. So I'm just guessing that's what his brand is called, is B3. But he like I said, he had a lot of custom things that were pretty cool. He had a spot on the display shelf for a Cybertruck, and it was gone. I don't even remember seeing it when I was at the first session. So I think that went really really quick. He had one that was already built, like sitting on the table. Um, that was gone. There was some other stuff that seemed to be sold out too. He had other arcade style games. He had um ones that like resemble Pac-Man and Mrs. Pac-Man and Galaga and some other one I actually never heard of that I can't remember at the moment. But he also had like vending machines. So like if you remember, if you're as old as I am, I'm 31. So if you remember, like the vending machines are like dedicated for that snack. Like the M&M vending machines only had M&Ms, and then like the company, and then um, a couple other like random candies in there. Then Dr. Pepper vending machine. So we had like that one too. They're like smaller ones. It was pretty cool. I didn't really care to get one, but I thought it was cool. But I did want to get that because I remember playing Mortal Kombat. Look at the little thing. I hope my camera can get there or not. Hell, it can't. Look at that. Like the people right there battling. You can see the health bar up there, like the iconic Mortal Kombat setting, and it's cool, man. Like he did great with this. Those are his stickers that he ended up printing up and getting put together and all that. This was pretty cool. I had to get it. I was like, yeah, I gotta get one of these. Um, so that was his spot, and then next to the reseller was one of the Lego Masters from Lego Masters season 3, which was Patrick Durham, who his partner was Carrie Wu. He was by himself because Carrie Wu had passed away. But Patrick was there, and he was talking to a bunch of people. And I remember when I was right there, he was talking to this little kid, giving him advice on how to become a battle better Lego builder. And he was like, yeah, he was giving advice on that. And next to, well, in his little spot, he had this massive, obviously scaled down version of a looks like a fight scene from Star Wars. There's like a bunch of stormtroopers going battling the droids, and it's like I said, this thing is just massive. But he made it work so well with the different colors like of the leaves that he chose, and how he was able to fit I guess those are land speeders in there as well, with the stormtroopers sitting on there, and then the droids there with their guns, and just like it's like a battle scene. I don't know what scene it's from. There wasn't a nameplate there to identify where the battle scene was from, but just looking at it, up close, and just the level of detail that went into it, with how he did the plants and the rocks of the whole mountain and the cliff, the the placement of the stormtroopers and um their land speeders, and like there's even like one like in the air. I'm guessing he had like a jetpack on or something like that. It was really cool. I really liked the way he had this put together. There was a little bit of a line just to even see this when I was there for the first part, for the first time slot, and I don't even know how he was able to transport this thing. It's crazy. I want to know like how he was able to transport. I want to know if the stuff is even glued together, because it just seems like, despite it like being like a big mountain, the different plants can just easily just fall over, and I don't know. It was crazy. It was crazy. I liked it. I liked it. I'm not a huge Star Wars fan, but the way some people are able to put together these Star Wars builds is pretty incredible. On the backside part of where AC Pin was Lego art pieces that somebody put together. I'm saying somebody because they had the art pieces back behind this table, but they also had like the ropes. They had like the retractable ropes that everybody likes to play with. And, you see a zip pass because somebody messed it up. Anyway, they had those there, but they had those like kind of far back from the table as well, so you can't see the writing on the little plaque that's there on the table to who made the art piece and what it's called. But I mean, like some of them was self-explanatory, but at the same time, it's like you kind of want to see who made it and what they called it, and but it is what it is, I guess. Can't really do nothing about it. There was one particular one that seemed to attract a lot, decent amount of attention, which was um, this style of art, to where I was able to like to um, lean in far enough and see, but it's Mario and Luigi on the same picture. But like if you face it from one side at the perfect angle, you see Mario, and like you walk over, you see it change over to Luigi. Luigi's on this side. It's kind of like what they those old holographic card things that we used to get when we were kids. You move it back and forth, you see the picture change from what it was doing. So that's basically what this art piece was just like that. But from what I was able to see, on the plaque that was there, was that they used a lot of slanted pieces to make this piece of art change as you move with it. And I thought that was pretty cool. I felt like that was the highlight of that section. Besides the other pieces that were there, the other pieces that were there were great, but I feel like this one attracted the most attention. Another thing that I found uh, kind of kind of like a letdown, besides the Star Wars, was the lack of Harry Potter stuff. But it is what it is, I guess. So somebody, there was no name, there wasn't the person there. They had chairs there for the person that built it, but they weren't there to talk about anything or to answer any questions or like that. But they had all the separate, all like the separate scene sets that Lego put out from Harry Potter. So like the astronomy tower, um, the Chamber of Secrets, the Great Hall, Hagrid's hut. They had like all that like put together in a way that's different from the actual, mega build Lego castle. So you're actually kind of able to see the different themes from Harry Potter come together in this form, and they did it pretty well. They was able to kind of put it all together nicely and added a couple other random things in there like Aragog when it got, was it he or she? When Aragog got killed, they have Aragog there with his legs put together like it was dead. Um, they have Buckbeak there. They have um, Hagrid's brother, um, the giant that was there. They have the Quidditch practice as well on the outside of the school, and they had like the courtyard. They had the scene from the Chamber of Secrets. They had, and then they also had like they had one of the Hogwarts Express trains, and then the Hogsmeade part as well. It was just all those famous parts of the Harry Potter world and series put together on this one big, connected together on this table. Like I said, the person who had built him wasn't there, and that's all they really had for Harry Potter. And I was just like, man, like, at least the castle could have been there. At least somebody could have had the castle there. The big version and the smaller version. I think that would have been cool too. You had the big castle next to all these little things. Now you can actually see what the different parts on the inside. Whatever. Whatever. That was there. I thought that was interesting to see that. It also gave me an insight into how big a lot of these Harry Potter pieces are. I have some, as you can see right here. Was it one? Was two actually? Ford Pivot Drive, Harry's house, and Hogwarts Express, right there. And so, like, when I had made these, and then I see this now in person, I'm like, okay, now I can actually gauge the size of all this. I didn't know how big they were, despite seeing this. So now I kind of get an idea for how Lego kind of scaled these down and everything. So it was interesting to see that. And so going around the tables to the other displays that the other creators had. There was one that I came across. I don't know who built it. They were kind of just sitting there. They weren't. There was people just sitting there. They weren't really kind of trying to talk to you. They were kind of just like looking at you as you came around and looked at what they had displayed. Don't guess it was two dudes that were there. I'm guessing either both of them or one of them put it together. But they had um, a dragon that was there that was pretty cool. They had two pirate ships, which I thought were really, really, really cool because Lego only does pirate ships randomly here and there a few times. So those pirate ships actually look pretty great. Then they had this huge bionicle army. I even know Bionicle. It looks like they're Bionicle. It could be some other type of thing. I'm probably getting it all wrong. Please forgive me. But it reminds me of Bionicle. Okay, so I'm going with Bionicle, and so that's what I'm gonna call it. You can cringe all you want, but it was just a massive like Bionicle army, and I thought that was interesting because you don't really see anybody with. You see some people selling them, but you don't see many people having them like put together and on display and something like this. So I thought that was pretty interesting. So then there was this exhibit section right here of all the custom cars they put together. That G wagon one, I thought was pretty interesting. Um, like it was a low version of like Singapore. It reminded me of Singapore. It looked like the pieces from Singapore, just the architecture Singapore set, like used to make something different that's not the Singapore set. But it worked. It looks like a garden in a type of way. Then next to it, they had like this little house, run like the fall time, run fall time. That I thought was really nice. The shingles, I can't tell what kind of pieces those are, but the shingles, they look like, I don't know what they are, but it came out really well. They had like another one next to that that looks like it's obviously a train car, like an abandoned train car that got converted into somebody's nice little home. It gives me hippie vibes in a way, just because of that little awning piece that they have going across there as shade. But I thought that was really thought that was really interesting how they had that put together. It's really nice. I really like this. It looks like something that would be like a submission for the Bricklink program. It looks like something like that. I thought that was really nice. And next to that, they had this music school. They called it the Playwell Music Academy, and the piano. They had the piano on the floor that you can run across and play on. You can run across and play on, like the one that was in I think the movie's called Bigger. I believe it had Tom Hanks in it. I think it was. But I remember watching that scene where they're dancing on a piano and actually playing a song. And then for this build, they had the same thing going on. Some people surrounding it and taking pictures, and they had other little rooms around there where people were playing their instruments, trying to make sure they become professionals with it. So I thought that was really interesting as well. It looked really nice. All right. So this man here, hats off to this man here. Second man I give my hat off to. He's not number. Yeah, he's the second person I give my hat off to for having the most craziest. I won't say most craziest. The busiest, elegant, and complex builds out of the whole convention. This man has like he put together some type of underwater coral reef world, not world, underwater coral reef space, and the level of detail that he has like fishes like randomly like going across the whole thing. Like there's just fishes like all randomly like set around in the whole build, and it's you get a 3D. It's literally like a 3D feel from it. I didn't even notice it until like I was looking looking back at the footage. Like he had a little baby a little baby sea turtle like swimming around in one part. There's sharks in there. He has like 4 or 5 different sharks in there. There's a flipping mermaid up in there somewhere as well, and it's like an underwater world, and like there's this yellow like I'm gonna call it like a deep sea like station because there's people in it and it has like bubbles, bubble glass on it so you can look out and everything like that and see what's around them and everything, and that was there. But like the other crazy part was he had a perpetual motion machine, or yeah, I'm gonna call it a machine, perpetual motion machine built into this whole thing, and he was there trying to fix it because he had it put together before and it was working before or something like that. But I think he said he made some modifications to it. And he said once you modify this part, you got to modify this, and you got to modify that. So everything had to be modified. So while we were there, people are looking at this whole thing, and he's just right there off to the side trying to get it to work properly, the machine. And I was just like, man, like this. Somebody asked him like, how long did it take you to build this? And he said like, he was like, oh, we're at about 100 hours right now. We're like, what? 100 hours, bro? Like, I hope that wasn't like 100 hours, like just leading up to it, but it probably was. And just the like by himself, or maybe he might have not done it by himself, but just the level of detail that went into this, man, like it's crazy and it's great. It's freaking awesome. And then I'm kind of laughing at the moment because I'm laughing at the moment because there's a lead up to what's coming. There's a lead up to the absolute main attraction to me in terms of the creator exhibits there. But first, we're gonna get to um, this line of steampunk inspired builds. And the steampunk builds, like I love those just because, like I don't know, like it's interesting. The steampunk theme is interesting itself of things being powered by machine and like air and steam and mechanics and having brass and like gold and silver and copper put together, like from being enclosed, like in clothing in that type of way, to actual living spaces and cars and anything really. And so the fact that like this person had these different ships from a uh steampunk vibes was really cool to me, and how he put them together. And then next to then they had this really massive, I'm creating really massive, it was really big to me, this big ship, great colors, black with the hints of green and the gold everywhere. And this thing is just big. It reminds me of, like, as if somebody very very important is inside of this thing. This thing was big, and I'm pretty sure it was heavy too. That's what the vibes of that just gave me. It gave me like those kind of vibes. Like somebody very important lives lives inside this thing. Is getting transported around like all day every day in this thing. And like if you see this thing coming off in the distance, like you better run type of thing, or you better be ready for a visit, because it just gives off that kind of vibe. And it's pretty too. It's pretty, it's cool, it's beefy. I really like that one. I really like that one. But now, 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 when I say, well, there was a line to get to see this thing. First of all, when I was standing there, I was like, okay, I was looking, I'm about to walk, because I came around this way, and I'm about to just walk up and just like basically like, kind of cut everybody and like be right there and start with my camera. And it was like, whatever. But I looked up and I was like, I'm being civilized, so I'll just go in back here. I'll just go over here and get in line. So there was a line just to see this thing. And I remember some guy behind me was like, "There's a line just to see that." I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Okay." So I was in line for probably, I don't even know, it had been like 15, I don't 15 minutes, I'm gonna say, at the max. I was in line just to see this thing. This thing, this thing here. I don't know where. I wish I had the mind. Maybe I might one day have the mind to draft up something like this. To think of how to put all this stuff together, have it stay together, not fall, and then even be able to take it apart and be able to transport it is another feat itself. This thing here, this you can tell I'm a little speechless at this thing, because for one, it was the most massive set I have ever seen before in my life that wasn't at like Legoland. And in the one that the Titanic, if there's a, not the Titanic, Queen Mary. Somebody made a Lego, a brick built version of the Queen Mary that's on display at the Queen Mary. But like this thing here just blows that out of the water. This man had a this absolutely humongous, massive, like space pirate ship on display, and I don't know how many hours. I didn't talk to him because I was just trying to. I was just look. Everybody was just looking at this thing. He wasn't really trying to talk to nobody either. But whatever, it's fine. Because everybody can be there and ask them questions all day long. Nobody be able to get to see what they want to see and record it and this, that, and the other, which is fine. Whatever. It's all good. But this man made this humongous pirate spaceship thing, and it drew so much attention. Like I said, there was a line to see this thing up close, and he had pirates hanging from the masts, from ropes, doing different things. Every pirate wasn't doing the same thing. Every pirate was doing something different. He had, you can see like the doors on the sides that are open, like the bay doors, as if you're like, so. Well, it's the bay doors. These are actual bay doors that you would obviously like load stuff into because it's designed to be in the air. This big pirate airship thing. I think call it a spaceship. I'm calling it airship. This big airship thing, and there's even like steps like leading up to like the top back of the ship where I guess like the captain would be or somebody else would like be up there doing something, another observation spot. There's cannons everywhere. There or not everywhere. There's cannons, in spaces. There's sails. I'm pretty sure the sails drop down as you pull the ropes too. This thing it made no sense. They ain't no sense. They even had like a back dock section to where you can land like a little ship on. And, like I just couldn't believe my eyes. I was tripping out just at the scale of this and the level of detail that went into this. I feel like it was a highlight of the whole creator exhibits themselves, just because of just everything that went into this, everything that went into this. And there was like one point where he took off like a mast, like he just wiggled it and pulled it off, and he set it aside, and he would start moving something around, and then he ended up putting it back, and I was just like, okay. Well, that kind of answers one question about how this thing got transported. And the man just took off a mast and then just put it back like it was nothing. But I mean, this thing had to been this thing was at least, I'm going to say, like 5 feet long, at least 5 feet long, and it stood at least 3.5 feet high. That's how massive this thing was. Where did he have it? I wonder where he built it at. First of all, that's what I want to know. Like, where did you build this at? It couldn't have been your house. It couldn't have been. If it was, it just took up a decent spot in your house, more than likely. If not, then cool. Um, but just, like I want to know what more was on the inside as well. Like, is there like there's a galley, there's a loading area, the engines with the propellers on it. There's stuff coming off the backsides that look like exhaust. And I didn't see the captain necessarily. I was trying to find him, but I didn't really get to see him. So you kind of have to record and keep on moving and take your picture and keep moving. But that's all well and good. There was even like ships like under it, like little airships under it. I'm guessing like two that were like part of like the transport team, or watch to watch over the ship itself, or they might have been like attacking. I don't really know, but this thing was absolutely amazing. I've never seen anything like this. Like, not even like at Legoland. I don't even think like the people at like Legoland, the builders there would think of putting something like this together. Like, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. And like next to that was it was part of it. It was part of that ship, and it was basically an airship reloading station type of thing, because it has it's like it's you can tell it's like on a mountain. There's a cave under it, a whole cave little system under it with these blinking LED lights. They're showing up under um, these clear They look green. These clear green bricks. It's literally called a skyport. So that's where I'm getting about the vibes about it being like a actual like like a depot, like a spot you can go there, you pull up, and they load you up with whatever you need, and then you just fly, you fly off, you sail off into the air, not the and it had like a working crane there too. They didn't really show like the crane like moving, but you can tell like it actually worked. And this was crazy, man. That mess was so crazy, so crazy. I mean, I couldn't imagine trying to do that. Not yet, at least. The time, man, the time and the design to put this together. Like, I kind of hope to develop that kind of mind one day to be able to put something like this together. So not like put together something out of my mind and put it on paper, then actually build it up to something like this. Absolutely crazy. Well done, sir. That's my hat off to you, man. Hat off on the floor, and I'm gonna leave it there too. All right, now I'm almost done. I'm almost done. I promise you, I'm almost done. Getting back into the buying and selling. I gripe on this so much. I gripe on this so much. I tell my mom all the time. I tell some of my friends or a couple guys at work. Say I talk to them about I talked about Legos. Some of the guys at work. Where do people get the prices for reselling a lot of these sets? I don't know. I have no clue where do you get these ideas from. I don't know if they're like checking to see the price markup on them, or or like if there's like a secret like site to see like the value of sets as they retire and how they increase in price over time. I don't know. I don't know. I really feel like a lot of times the prices for sets when you're reselling them are not what they should be posted as. For example, one of the reseller spots in there, they had the Harley Davidson Fat Boy. When that came out, matter of fact, I want to look it up myself, so I forgot. When that came out, let's see, Lego, Lego Harley Davidson, Lego Harley Davidson, aka the Fat Boy. So literally looking at it right now on Google, on Google, there is on StockX 124, eBay 112. Somebody, no, it's not even it. 120, yeah, 124. And then and then when this came out, I believe it was like $100, 120, something like that. Maybe not. Maybe I'm getting the price wrong. Let me see. Well, I mean, if it's on set, if somebody's selling it for 125, it's on for 155 on Poshmark. What I'm getting at is, it's not over $200. This person here was selling it for 300. Harley Davidson Fat Boy for 300. Right in between. Matter of fact, right in between the BMW 1000R was next to that on like this side. Then next to that was the brand new Yamaha naked bike that just came out, and we already know the price of both of those. And the fact you're selling the Fat Boy for 300 is absolutely. I don't know. I don't know where they get there. I don't know. mm. Here's another one. I don't know if I want to. You can see the black boxes up here, so you already know those are architecture sets right there. So those only two or three architecture sets that I saw there. Three. I saw Singapore. I saw New York. So Singapore, I saw New York, and Berlin. This other one, the Block Party. Those people, they had a lot. They had a lot. They had a lot of stuff. They have a store that's not even like here apparently, like Indiana somewhere. Lego, I'm curious to see. I'm curious to see what the market is for it right now. Let me see here real quick. Let me see real quick. Lego, architecture, architecture. I spelled it wrong, but I don't care. Berlin. It was $30 when it came out. $30. 30. Wow. $30 when it came out. Right now, I don't know why. Now I'm actually seeing the prices on here too for a second. But like it says like on sale, people are selling it right now. Somebody's selling it for 172. There's 229 on StockX, 239, 172. And somebody somewhere is out of their mind and selling it for 424. What? What? The, 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 the box is this small. The box is, it don't, how many pieces it is? It's not even 300 pieces, bro. It's not. 424. They had it for 350. They had it for 350. I was like, bro, that's gonna be sitting there for a long time. No, 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 no. That's out, bro. That's out. That makes no sense to me. I need to talk to people. I guess I need to talk to more Lego people because what? 350, 424. Come on, man. Like that no. No. I don't it don't sit right with me. It does not even sit right. And even like what this thing says, so brick economy. It's probably where they're getting their prices from. This thing called brick economy. This thing on here says the 21027 Lego architecture Skylines Berlin is estimated to be worth between 504 and 535 in 5 years, bro. I don't get it. I probably never will. Now, like the old Lego Castle line, sure, okay, I guess. Moving on. These are also at this the block parties. So they had a lot of current stuff, a lot of current stuff. They had some stuff that was retired, like 1 year's retired, 2 years. It wouldn't separate like that, but I know. So like, stuff that was 1 year's retired, 2 years retired. They had something that was like 10 years retired because they had Lego systems. They had Lego system stuff that was there as well, and like some stuff they were small. I've never seen one that was small. It had been smaller than the Berlin thing. It was like 200. I was like, bro, 200, bro, for this small thing. But whatever, whatever. Is this? I guess I can understand. It was back from like the 80s when Lego was becoming a thing. They was getting their feet wet and doing anything. Sure, fine, fine, fine. Sell the castle for 500. The Lego system castle for 500. Fine. It's decently sized. It has that classic thing to it. Fine, sure. Not Berlin. Not, please. I wonder if the price they had the Star Destroyer. They had one Star Destroyer there, not in its original box, but it was there. I believe they had it priced for 1,200, which is a buttload of money for one, but it seems accurate. Berlin don't seem accurate for 500. For 500, even if 350, but that five doesn't seem accurate. But anyway, I bought some stuff because I was there for a minute just trying to see what I can buy because I was already done looking at all the exhibits and everything. I did buy one thing from the block parties spot there. It had a lot of minifigures, and forgive me for not recording the hundreds of minifigures this man had. And where he put them, I have no clue. He had some in display cases, little spinning display cases. They were just another one was just all in a line. How do you keep up with them? I have no idea. Why do you have so many duplicates of them? I have no idea. But Jesus Christ, that's a lot of minifigures, bro. It had to be at least like 500 different minifigures in display and for to buy. And like, just I don't even want to get into the prices for minifigures. I'm pretty sure some of y'all know. I remember seeing a minifigure for $100. It's a minifigure for $100. Whatever. I'm not getting into it because minifigures is whatever to me. I don't, if it comes in the thing, cool. If it doesn't, whatever. Like, do I feel like this should have came in a minifigure? I think it'd have been cool if it came with like like a miniature like minifigure, something like that sat inside the car, something like that. Sure, but or even like this, a minifigure for Monster Jam guys, sure, but whatever. Anyway, I bought this. I think it's pretty cool. So like a World War II plane. He just named it Plane and Pilot. I don't know. It looks like it's from an actual. It's like an actual book in here. I don't know where he possibly got it from, but apparently it's supposed to make this plane. So I got that for $35. Pretty cool. He had other ones there that were custom, had their own little custom boxes. Had two modern military vehicles, and then five war vehicles from World War II. Four tanks and one car that was there. So I thought that was pretty cool. I didn't get any of those because I just didn't care for it. So I did get that from them. I did get, you saw B3, the ones I got from B3. I got those two things, and then I got I went back to the Bricker Builds part because, matter of fact, before I mention what I got from Bricker Builds, they had they had a lot of stuff there too. Like, they were the main attraction for the exhibits just because they're right there in your face when you walk in. So it's just like boom, like, here you go. Here's a little Lego little brick built Charmander right here. They called it Fire Dinosaur, something like that. They had Pikachu there, called it the Electric Mouse. They had other Pokemon characters built. They called Eevee Eon. I don't know why. I'm guessing for copyright reasons. They had Puplip and, like I said, Pikachu. They call it Pikachu Electric Mouse. I don't know why, bro, but whatever. They had the star from Mario. They had the ghost from Mario. They had brick built versions on Mario and Luigi as well that were there. They had the mushroom. They call it the angry mushroom, but it's the mushroom that has the wings on it. Little evil mushroom that has the wings on it, and they were for sale. Everything, all those big ones that they have there, are for sale. They actually have the price points on there if you actually want to buy them. Um, Even like the mushroom, Toad. It was Toad without the body. Just said mushroom. I'm guessing it's Toad. Whatever. But they also have the mushrooms that you can buy as well, and you can build them yourself. Um, and so what I bought from there was Pokeball. I played most of the Pokemon games when I was younger. I had red, blue. Had red, blue, and yellow. I'm surprised I had yellow. I had red, blue, and yellow. Scratch that. I had red and yellow. I didn't have blue. My cousin had blue. But I had red and yellow. I had crystal. I had gold. Then my cousin had silver. I might have had silver too. I can't remember. I remember playing silver. I had ruby. My cousin had sapphire. One of my friends had emerald. He had the emerald version. So yeah, me and Pokemon go way back. I watched all the episodes and all that stuff too. So I had to get a Pokeball. I had to get the Master Ball, actually. They call it the Pocket Sphere. I think that's a technical term for it. The technical name for it is Pocket Sphere. I even think it says that in the if you go back in the in like the Pokemon archives or whatever they call it, the Pocket Sphere. But we're gonna it's a Pokeball. We all know it's a Pokeball. Okay, so they had that, which is pretty cool. They had a bunch of those there. They had the classic one with the red, white, and black. They had the great ball with the blue and the bottom part is silver. Um, and ultra ball and the master ball, and they had a couple. They had one more. No, it was just those three, four. So yeah, I had to get one of those. I got my cousin one of these and the regular Pokeball, and then I also got um the Uka Uka mask. Now, if you know about the Uka Uka mask, you know. If you know, you know. But if you don't know, I'll tell you. I won't be. I won't be that person. If you don't know, the Uka Uka mask is from Crash Bandicoot. If you played any Crash Bandicoot games, you know that this once you have this mask on, you kind of it's your best friend. It's your lifesaver. You know, you mess up, you lose one mask. If you had all three, you had all three, you made it to like 5 levels without losing one. You know, you was a master. You know, you was a master at it. But yeah, I had to get this. I didn't even know this was there until I saw somebody else with it. Um, I was like, oh well, I wonder if it came from Homeboy B3, but I was going with it. I didn't see it over there, so I went back over there to the Bricker Builds section. They had this, and I was like, yeah, let me get one. I definitely need to get one, so I picked me up one. And then I also got it from I got this from the what do you call it? The block parties section over there. Boom. I saw this and nobody was actually trying to get this. Why? I don't know. I don't know why they weren't trying to get this, but I got it. I was going back and forth. I was going back and forth from getting this, from getting two of the Lunar New Year sets because they were decently priced. I also had to get ornaments because there's ornaments, brick built ornaments, and then there was a creator 3-in-1 um, set that was a plane, boat, and a helicopter, I believe. That I kind of like. I like it, and I remember seeing it on different websites as well. I thought about it. I was like, dang man, I couldn't decide. I was there for a minute just trying to decide. I was going back and forth. Like, should I get this? Should I get that Creative 3-in-1? Should I get the Lunar New Year? There was another set that was way up on the top. It was oh, what was that? I was staring at it for a minute. I was trying to decide if I should get. It was it was Back to the Future. Back to the Future said they had it for 200, whatever. They had it for 200. I was like, I was going back and forth. I didn't know what to do. It was that one. There was one more that I can't think of at the moment. I was there for me. I was going back and forth. It was like, listen, I was like picking it up, putting it down, picking it up, putting it down, and I ended up just getting this. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get this. I feel like this holds more prestige than all those other ones, and I think I made a good choice. I do because these aren't easy to come by, really. And the guy who was selling this from the block party, one of the owners of it, he was saying that whoever he got this from, the guy only had four, so he had one, so he brought one here, or brought one here to sell. What happened to the other three? I have no clue, but this was there, so I picked this one up. Um, I heard that these are decently coveted, just because from from Lego House people who designed the person who designed this name is Dagny Home. It's a master builder, and there's a little profile on the side of the box here. It says Dagny Home was the first master builder in the Lego group. She started as an intern on her 19th birthday in 1936. Dang. She was a niece to founder Ole Kirk Christensen, which is one of the creators of Lego, aka the founder. For 25 years, she lived in Copenhagen, where she was educated in classical sculpture techniques. In 1961, she returned to Billund as a model builder. She was responsible for all the brick designs in Legoland Park in Billund. In 1967, She was asked to design a Lego train for Tivoli Amusement Park in Copenhagen, later to be installed in Legoland Billund. She retired as the Lego Group's chief designer in 1986 at the age of 70. Dang, that's a long time. It's a long time. But yeah, I feel like I made her. It's the back of the box. If you have, these are all limited edition ones that they put out. I You can see it back there, right there. I have the miniature um ones that they made, that Lego put out. So yeah, uh, I got this as well because I think these are really coveted by us in the Lego community, us Lego fans. Is the stuff that's in display in the Lego house, that's been in display in the Lego house, and the fact that Lego actually put out the sets that you know put out sets from that are part of the Lego house. This literally says tribute to the Lego house on it. The fact that they put this out I thought was really cool because apparently like this the duck is apparently like one of the ones that's like on the Holy Grail list or whatever like that is one of these apparently, what I heard, as well as the different forms of Lego house. I believe there's two different forms of Lego house. Um, so yeah, I think it's kind of cool now that I have two Lego house theme sets. You know, I feel like that's really cool. I feel good about it. I feel good about it. I really like both of them. I really like this. This really looks nice. Look at that design. That design looks freaking great. And there's the little duck again. The duck is right there too. It's pretty cool to me, man. I really like this. I'm glad I got this. I feel like if I didn't get this, I would have missed out like on a piece of history if I didn't get this. So I'm really happy I got this. When am I gonna put it together? I have no clue yet, but it'll get put together eventually. All in all, for my first time being at a Lego convention, Lego Brick convention, and for what it was, for everything that they had there, if I had to rate it from 1 to 10, I'd say probably like a good like 6 or 7. 7 being on the good side, I guess 6 is obviously on the lower end, just because I feel like they're 6 or 7 because I feel like there could have been more there. I feel like there could have been more creators there with their builds than than who was there. Um, the seller part was, I'm not surprised there were the sellers there. I just don't think they should have had the majority of that side space. I feel like that all that side space could have been reserved for more creators, and like you can have the sellers in a whole nother part of the building, because the OC Fairgrounds is big enough and the buildings and stuff are big enough. Sorry, there's people out there hollering. I feel like it's big enough to where that stuff kind of like, I want to say being been outside, because yeah, but like another building in there, because it's big enough. I feel like the sellers could have been in another part and just had like that one big main space for creators and all their builds. But it is what it is when they bring it back, which I hope they do, that it will be on a bigger scale. There'll be more creators there, more builders there. Um, Maybe a couple people from YouTube community, YouTube builders if they're in California. But yeah, if I had to give it a rating, I'd say it was like 6 or 7 out of 10, just because I feel like there was a bit of a lack of the creators and builders there for that. And yes, I'm grateful. But come on, man, let's merch add-on. I can't even like put whatever. That is it for this video. If you haven't already, sorry if it's a little lengthy. If you haven't already, like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos, and stay tuned for when I bring this thing out. This is gonna be interesting. I haven't done it yet because it's gonna take a while, but when that gets going, you'll see what I'm talking about. I'll see you in the next one.